Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Daughters of Khaine, and in particular, the Khelt Nar sub-faction. In this video, we're going to go through and talk about what exactly makes a Khelt Nar sub-faction of Daughters of Khaine special. We'll then look at some units we can use to start off our Daughters of Khaine Khelt Nar force with, before exploring some other unit options to expand upon those initial purchases. Then we'll finish off the video with a little sample 1000 point army list for you to use as some inspiration to create your own army list, or indeed copy ours if that's what you wish to do. With that all said, let's talk about what makes Khelt Nar special, and it's pretty simple really. Friendly Khelt Nar units can retreat and still charge in the same turn. That is it for Khelt Nar. A nice, cool, simple rule that is pretty sweet. It's worth remembering that Daughters of Khaine have a lot of units that have abilities like run and charge standard, so getting something like retreat and charge on top of that is really useful for not only getting yourself in combat nice and quick, but for maintaining the ability to choose the combat you wish to be in at all times. So some pretty cool stuff there. That really is all there is to Khelt Nar, so let's get looking at some units we can bring into the force. And so, to start off with for our Khelt Nar army, I think the High Gladiatrix is great. First of all, we want to talk about getting Witch Elves in, and the High Gladiatrix, she works really well with them. She's going to provide them with a cool ability, which is going to change their sacrificial daggers from wounding on a 4+ to statistically and characteristically wounding on a 3. This is the characteristic changing, which means you can get further bonuses on top of it. This isn't a +1, it's changing the actual number on the war scroll, which is really cool. She's also going to give those Witch Elves a point of rend. Now, she would also give these benefits out to Sisters of Slaughter, but I want to talk about why I like Witch Elves over Sisters of Slaughter in Khelt Nar. First of all, Sisters of Slaughter have that 6-inch pile-in rule, which means they're generally not trying to charge, they're generally trying to sneak into combats using some pile-in shenanigans throughout the army. Witch Elves, on the other hand, want to be charging. They've got run and charge on their war scrolls thanks to their musicians and banners, which is really cool. And they get some cool things when they do charge. They've got cool bonuses. And they've got access to a ton of different buffs from a variety of different places that are going to give them more bonuses. Not to mention, thanks to our Blood Rights table, we're going to get like +1 to run and charge pretty quick in turn 1 and 2. So this can be really great for ensuring you're just going to have a ton of movement available to you with your Witch Elves, and the High Gladiatrix is going to make them that much more deadly in combat. Just a really nice combination. Now, the High Gladiatrix does have some other cool rules. First of all, she does have that cool 6-inch pile-in rule, so she can sit back and attack later in the phases, and this is actually useful when in combination with her other rule, which when she does some wounds to an enemy model, she can potentially auto-kill it with a nice little rule of hers. So some cool abilities to maybe auto-kill an extra model or a higher wound model if you're playing something like Ogres or something like that, or potentially, you know, a little support character at the back. She's got a decent range with that whip of hers, and you can do some cool little things. But where do we look for some other units? And first of all, I think bringing in a wizard to a Khelt Nar force is really great. Daughters of Khaine have an amazing spell lore, and the Bloodrack Medusa is a nice cheap wizard option. You obviously have things like Morathi Khaine when you start going into bigger points values, and the Bloodrack Shrine's another good option as well. But I think the Bloodrack Medusa is nice. She's got a cool ranged attack that allows her to do mortal wounds and is really good at killing hordes, and she's got some good ways when a Bloodrack Medusa is your general to get some nice magical bonuses to your army. So definitely something cool to have in addition to all your other stuff that you're going to have in the army. Now we're going to talk about Blood Sisters as well. I really like Blood Sisters for Khelt Nar. Now they're not going to always get run and charge depending on what sort of loadouts you've got within your force. Depends whether they're going to have it, but even as like a secondary wave unit is going to be really nice. Retreat and charge on a unit like them that's got so much power behind them, the ability to do so many mortal wounds is just really cool. Blood Sisters generally are a more hardy unit. While your Witch Elves might be like your first wave, you've got your Blood Sisters coming in as your second wave, can be a really nice sort of strat. Alongside them, the Hag Queen is a really nice option. She provides you with the Sippy Cup with her Witch Brew, which is going to allow you to count one unit that she uses the Witch Brew on as being a round ahead for the purposes of Blood Rights, meaning, you know, you're going to be able to get +1 to run and charge first turn if you put that on your Witch Elves, which is really nice, meaning you're getting those Witch Elves in nice and early to then retreat out, get all their bonuses again. So some cool things for your Alpha Strike, and also she's going to be able to get the bonuses like +1 to hit or something on your Blood Sisters, getting them more bonuses. She's also a priest, so she's got access to the nice priest's lore that the Daughters of Khaine have, with access to a variety of different affecting spells, or rather prayers, which are really nice. Lastly, I want to talk about the Avatar of Khaine. He's really coming to his own in the new battle tome. He no longer needs to be activated. He's just activated all the time. He gets to do some monstrous rampages, even though he's not a monster, which is really nice. And also, he can actually do a decent amount of damage. I really do rate the Avatar of Khaine. I think he's got a really great place in the battle tome now, as a cool little mini pseudo monster. And just a nice piece to help. He also gives +1 to priests nearby, which is pretty cool. The Idol of Worship, so it can be a really cool piece to add to your force. And so here we have our little sample army list for Khelt Nar. We've gone for Ulgu, we've got Hold the Line, and we've got Bloodthirsty as a triumph. We are only 5 points under, but there's always a chance. Bloodthirsty, I think, is just really important, especially when you're playing around with retreat and charge. If your army's going to be retreating and charging, the last thing you want in your army is to be re-rolling double ones twice in a turn. It can really hurt an army that relies on that retreat and charge sort of strat. And so, we have our Bloodwrack Medusa as our general. She's got the command trait Zealous Orator. I think this is just an absolutely amazing command trait. It allows you to, when you use the rally command, to return models on a 4+. So just based on which model we've got in the army, this can be really, really powerful. She's then got the Shadow Stone, which gives her +1 to cast to any Lore of Shadow spells. And then she's got Mind Razor, which is an absolutely powerful spell. Mind Razor is going to allow her to put an extra point of rend on a unit she uses on, and also give that unit +1 damage when they charge. Remembering, retreat and charge, so we've got charges going off all the time in this army. So just a really, really great spell. You know, all of a sudden turning 20 Witch Elves into damage 2 with 3 attacks apiece on, 2s and 2s with the High Gladiatrix and rend 2 coming out of them can be really, really nasty. Speaking of High Gladiatrix, she is in the army, and then we've also got a Hag Queen with the Prayer Catechism of Murder, which gives a unit exploding 6s, which means when they roll a 6 to hit, they get 2 hits instead of 1. A really nice prayer to have. Battle line wise, we've got 10 Blood Sisters, which become a battle line thanks to having a Melusai general in our Bloodwrack Medusa, and then we have 20 Witch Elves as well with Sacrificial Knives, using up both our reinforcement lots. Lastly, we've got the Avatar of Khaine in there for a nice little heavy hitter. He's also being able to use his particular monstrous rampage and stuff like that, can come in real useful. And everything is wrapped up in a battle regiment for a nice 1-drop army. Daughters of Khaine just really want to be 1-drop, I feel. They're a little bit of a glass cannon, so they want to be dictating who's got the turn. If they're going to get shot off the table, they're wanting to be charging across the table turn 1 to sort of lock down things, or moving to cover and playing the game they want to play. They're definitely not wanting to be fighting on enemies' terms. 995 points, as said, 5 points under. Unlikely you're going to get that triumph, but always useful if you do. 2 out of 2 reinforced units, no allies, 66 wounds is decent at this points value, and 1-drop as mentioned, thanks to the battle regiment. If you've been playing with Daughters of Khaine, if you're looking forward to playing with Daughters of Khaine and looking at using Khelt Nar, let us know what you're thinking down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment down below and let us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, we've got a link to our Discord server down in the video's description. And if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining Patreon or YouTube members, or purchasing something from our Ko-fi web store. All of them are linked in the video's description. Thank you all for everyone who chooses to help support the channel. As a special thank you to those people who have supported via Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give a special shout out to them all. So a shout out to our patrons Christian Weir, James, Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowe, Owler and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Dynat226, Derek, and GRP390. A special thank you to our YouTube members, Greenroots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Sean Scott, Pink Nico Fire, and Robin Mankiller as well. Lastly, a special shout out first of all to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel you see, and to Xmorphic, who has done an amazing job at setting up our Discord server for her and making us have a nice place to content and to chat with all of our community. Thank you all for watching once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.